Now that you know how to access your Faculty Mentor dashboard to see the students under your advising load, we will show you how to filter by groups, whether in the green, yellow, or red group, to send messages to your students. So first of all, again, make sure you're in the Faculty Mentor dashboard and that you have the correct name, role, and term selected. Before you send any messages out, you always want to check this number to make sure it matches the number of students you are wanting to contact. Notice right now it is 285 students. You probably do not want to contact all 285 students who have selected the particular major that you may be advising over. To make sure that you have the appropriate students, make sure that the following filters are set correctly. So the first filter is by term. It should default to the current term. If it is not, you can click the gray area and then type in the appropriate term. For instance, if you were looking for fall of 2022, you would type the year and then type fall. You'll notice options are available and you can select the appropriate term. I'm going to change it back to our current term for now, and then you click apply. The second filter that you want is in active class, and you want that set to yes. So if you click on the gray area, you can make sure that it's set to yes and not all. We want to make sure that that filter is active so that you're not viewing students whose courses have not begun yet. For example, if we are in a first 8-week term, we don't want to be contacting students who have enrolled in second 8-week classes for not attending, because obviously their course has not started yet. The third filter that you want to make sure you have activated is the active program contributing credits, and you want to make sure that it's set to at least 15. If it's not, again, you can click in the gray area. If you don't have at least as an option, you would click the blue link and change that in the drop box and then type in 15 and click apply. You want to make sure all three filters are available. If you have deleted a filter or these filters are simply not there, then please move on to the next video, which will show you how to add and remove filters as well as reset to the default filter. Once you have these filters correct, you'll see on the Success Status by Term tab a color categoried group of students. You will have a green group, which represents students who have less than 25% absenteeism rate and have logged into at least one Canvas course within the last 7 days, so within the last week. The yellow group represents students who are falling between the 25 and 40% absenteeism rate, or they maybe have only logged into their Canvas shell one time within the current term, so they haven't been in the past week. And then the last group, the red group, they have more than a 40% absenteeism rate, so they've missed quite a few classes, or they just haven't logged into Canvas at all. Now, on a regular week-to-week basis, you want to, at the minimum, contact your yellow students, and then at least at the beginning of the term, you'll want to reach out to those in red, especially those who have not logged into their Canvas shells. So, to reach out to certain groups, you'll notice that each of these have the number of students in the group, and it's a blue link. So if I want to contact the yellow group, I'll click on that number. This is only one student, but you may have more. It will populate a list for you, and you'll want to click Add to Above Criteria. You'll notice that another filter appears up at the top, and it tells you exactly the students that you're reviewing. Those in the 2023 spring term, in active classes currently, who have earned at least 15 credit hours to their contributed program. And then we want their success status to be yellow. So you'll notice that now your list dwindles to one student, and from there, you'll notice the bold number changes to 1. So I only wanted to contact the yellow group, and so my number reflects that up at the top. Always check that before you grab email addresses. To get the email addresses for the students you want to contact, click the link email up at the top of your dashboard, and it will list the number of emails for those students that we've filtered. Click copy to clipboard, and then you can paste those email addresses into your email. Make sure it's set to blind copy, and then send your message. If you want to go to another group or just simply view the summary of colored categories, make sure you click the X up at the top where we applied that filter. You'll notice that the bold number goes back to the total, and your summarized number for those that have earned 15 credit hours in your program goes back down to the 75 we saw before. And from here we could reach out to the red group just to remind everyone by clicking on the number, which populates a list of students, which I could go through one by one if I wanted. I can click add to above criteria, which applies that filter for the red group, and you'll see my number changes to the 14 students that are in that red group. If I click email, I can get their email addresses, which lists them all out. Sometimes if it's several email addresses, then I would click line break, and that gives them line by line. That way, if you have more than 20 or so, you can group them up into groups of 10 so that the messages are not going out to spam folders. You would click copy to clipboard and then paste those emails and send your message. Again, don't forget to clear out that filter when you're done with that group, and it goes back to the summary. So this shows you how to grab a certain group of students and gather their emails to begin messaging them for their weekly reminders and checkups. The next video will show you how to apply your filters, and then you can also view how to look at your students in more detail.